Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Happy Sunday night to all of you that are tuning in tonight live. I know it's kind of an impromptu live. I know I usually don't go live on the weekends or, weekend nights at least. But I know I hadn't posted a video and I just wanted to, kind of get on because there's just some things I've been thinking about and wanted to talk about that I see discussed in the Discord and I see other videos and, just the whole like buy this now, sell this now type thing. And everyone's always worried about the right times to buy and the right times to sell. And, just always the same fear as always of, how long is this stuff going to last, right? How long can Pokemon continue to rise in value? How can all these boxes, continue to have value, continue to rise in value? How many new sets can this happen with? And, it's really just the same discussion. It's just like everything stays the same. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Only the faces and the names change over time because, over time people, leave the hobby, new people enter the hobby, but the hobby keeps moving no matter what, if you're here, if you're not here. And I just been getting a lot of questions recently about, Alex, should I sell this? Should I buy this? What do you think the future of this is? Do you think it's too late? And so I really wanted to touch on that, the is it too late factor and, people trying to compare, like people, say in the Discord some wild things. I just like to read it sometimes, like, saying like all this stuff is worthless. And to an extent, it's true, right? But to an extent, all paper money is worthless, right? Not just the U.S. dollar, but any nation's dollars or forms of currency that aren't backed by anything, right? All currency, right? I mean, most places in the world now is based on trust, right? It's just based on the fact that you believe it's worth something, and all of your neighbors in your nation feel it's worth something, and because that nation or that government can enforce the fact that it's worth something or protect its value because they can their power and their influence throughout the world or trade deals, whatever it may be, that's the reason it's worth something. But then at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. I mean, it can be used to make fire, you can burn it, or maybe if you have enough of them you can cover up and stay warm, but they're just pieces of paper. They're basically valueless, right? Well, same thing with Pokemon cards. Yeah, I mean, of course it's no real value. I mean, again, you light it on fire, keep you warm for a little bit. Maybe you can cover up with them if you have enough. Maybe you can build a house out of it if you have enough of them. I don't know. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just paper and cardboard and PSA, grades are just plastic. And I get it. But again, it's the same thing as everything else. It's trust, right? It's, enough people feel that something is worth something and it's worth enough to them or enough to them for them to put their hard-earned money into it and hold it with the belief it's worth that much because enough other people would pay that much for it, right? That's just how all these markets work, right? It's just the way it is. It's not like a company on the stock market where it actually has profits, it actually has revenues, it produces a product or a service. It's not like that, right? It doesn't have any intrinsic value like a company. But just because it doesn't have an actual intrinsic value does not mean that all this stuff is going to zero and it's not going to have value in the future, right? Because here's the thing. All of us humans, we make our bills, right? We make money just to pay our bills. And then with what we have left over, we always want to spend that on things we actually want. And everyone's going to have different ones, right? Some people just want to go out and play golf every day, right? Some people want to travel the world. They want to spend all their money traveling and go on vacations and seeing the world, right? Other people are collectors, all right? And those people, they want to build these fantastic collections for themselves. They want to decorate their house. They want to have rooms dedicated to their collection, and they want to own things that they enjoy, that make them feel good, like they want to, build. And that's just the way life is, and that's never going to change. It's human nature. Now, there's people that don't like collecting. There's people that do, but it's always going to be a thing. Now, let me get to the chat, and then we'll get into the point of this video. Because I just wanted to give it a few minutes for everyone to kind of get in here before I started getting going. But who's in here? Fernando's in here as always. What's up, Fernando? Hey man, I did check out that video you sent me. Seemed like you guys had a good conversation. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it seemed like you guys were having a good conversation. Definitely love to be a part of one of those one day with you guys. Marco's in the house. Ryo says, is Dan here? Is Dan, are you talking about Catch 'em All? I don't know. Dan Lex in the house. Terry Lake, what do you know? I caught alive. Hey, Terry, nice to have you here, man. Folks, Jimbo Slice says, Matu's in here. Fiat currency is the devil, right? It's Corey D. I'm going to booster box house, right? We got Christ Watchman. Who's your favorite grading company? It's always going to be PSA. Obviously Beckett Black Labels are going to be king, and then Beckett Pristines. Usually they're more value than PSA 10s on a lot of stuff. Sometimes they're not, but I just prefer going PSA. It's what most people. It's what the majority of people collect. It's easier to get 10s than it is to get them in Beckett. And so maybe you can hit home runs with Black Labels, but I'd rather keep the old steady. The most people want them. They're the easiest to move, easiest to get. So I stick with PSA. That's why I stick with them. Would you invest in Pokemon base set booster packs and lower grades, PSA 8 and 7? Ooh, graded booster packs? We can get into that later. Ask me that friends of the night, ask me that again in a few. Crypto Bros going for vintage on PWCC. Godly Shab, man. If you guys don't know him, he is the live and die by vintage guy, man. That's just his thing, man. He loves it. I don't know. I wish him the best. I don't see things the way he does with the vintage market, but I hope all of his stuff continues to gain value and keep its value and be able to collect the things he likes. But yeah, man, that's all I got. I don't know what else to say to you, man. Your thoughts on SGC? Now, I mean, guys, SGC, it was more of a sports company. Like it didn't. Most Pokemon people didn't use SGC. There's very few Pokemon slabs in SGC. I don't think it's going to have that big of an effect on the Pokemon market, but that's just me. Opened one of those mystery boxes from Walgreens today and pulled an XY Phantom Forces pack. Adam, that is a home run, man. Congrats. All right, guys, so let's get into this. So lately I keep getting asked a lot of questions about, Alex, this is booming. This box is booming. This is up. Do you think it's too late? Do you think it's too late to buy? Or Alex, I've been holding these. Is it time to sell now? Right? So here's the thing, guys. I'm going to show you some charts. So now I'll try and get into my explanation. But here's what you need to understand about Pokemon sealed product. And now singles are a different animal. They're all over the place. It doesn't matter if they're low population, high demand, low demand, vintage, modern. They're all over the place. Even if they're graded, they can be crazy ups, crazy downs, low auctions, high auctions, buy it now. They're crazy, right? If you're going to play the singles game, you can be very successful, but you do have a better, kind of a tougher stomach. You are going to see crazier swings, right? With the sealed product, usually after that first 2 to 3 years, you're not going to see that. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let me go ahead and get the screen share on. So here's Team Up, guys. Okay. And this is pricecharting.com. We don't need to worry about, the exact, if the charts are exactly right. All you need to understand is this is like the movement, right? So after Team Up's initial big push, like into the 600-700s, right? Just look at the chart trend, right? And even if every one of these sales isn't 100% correct, or there were other sales in there and you can say, well, I found it for here. That's not important. The important thing is the trend. Look. The box never saw, even after its steep incline, it never saw any decreases. And look, even when it had its next big rise up into like the high teens and 2000s, yeah, it has ebbs and flows, as you can see, but it never has those big giant crashes down. And that's just kind of how sealed product usually is. Now, during the boom, right, you had gigantic uptick, which led to some, 30, 40, 50, whatever percent decreases afterwards. But in times of normal growth, you just don't see things come back because the supply is constantly being eaten up every single day. And so after the price rise and tons of boxes disappear from the market, tons more getting opened, there's more demand and less supply, there just isn't enough to go around to drop the price anymore. And even with like evolutions, right? Those boxes spiked to 1,000, but they only dropped back down like the 700s and 800s, right? I mean, you only saw like a 20, 30% drop even after the biggest spike we've ever seen. And then it just went right back to being, stagnant, trending up a little bit now, but it doesn't drop off and crash, right? We can see this in tons of other Sun and Moon boxes. Like here's Ultra Prism, right? It had its big push in the 300s and it stayed there. I'm not saying it's like you're going to, get rich or just because you buy in, it's going to keep going forever. It might stagnate. You might see some drops, some ups and downs, but you're not going to see it return to its old levels. You're not going to see it crash. Look at this. It just kind of continues up over time, reaches new levels, and then goes back to another period of stagnation, right? You can see it with Cosmic Eclipse, right? It had its initial rise and then kind of, trails up, stagnates, kind of goes up a little more. It has another push. Now it's kind of up and down, stagnating again. And now with the Evolving Skies, right? Evolving Skies saw the big push into the 400s, right? All up to the 400s, and it stayed stagnant there for what? Over a year. Stagnant. But it didn't crash, right? People thought, oh, it's going to crash. It's way too expensive too quick. It didn't crash, right? It just stayed stagnant, ups and downs, mid threes to mid fours, kind of trading in that range. And now finally it's seeing an uptick. But guys, just because you see these upticks, it does not mean things are going to crash, right? It just means they're going to uptick and things are going to find a new equilibrium. They're going to find a new plateau where they can level out at. And the reason this works with sealed product is, like I said, there's constantly less supply every single day. Every time you get on and look at the market, there's less available than there was the day before. And the reason for this is just log on any pack opening channel. These boxes and these packs are being opened every single day in mass. And no matter how many of them are printed, you cannot open this amount of product and have it not run out over enough time with enough people opening it. And there's still enough demand for these sets to be open even at these price points. And because of that, the pack breakers are still going to rip those boxes and open those packs. And so the questions I've been getting, right, are always about, Alex, Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike, sold out in Pokemon Center. And now they're up in the 170s or 160s, 180s, wherever they're at. Is it time to move out? Like, should I sell into the strength? Should I get out before it comes back down? Guys, this is all my opinion as always. It ain't coming back down, right? Now, we can argue all about where a better place it could be to put your money, right? We can argue if, I know Godly Shad's in the chat. He can argue, his points on vintage slabs. We could argue putting into brand new sets like Scarlet and Violet era because you can get in at such cheap price points. We can argue about, putting it into, modern cards that are hard to find, hard to grade, low population. We could argue putting it back into older boxes like XY Sun and Moon because, they're going to continue to see rise faster because their supply is getting less and less, and Sword and Shield's probably going to. We can argue all that. Like, we can argue the stock market. We can argue crypto. I'm not here to argue with you. I don't care what you do with your money. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a good chance that if you sell that box now, you will not be able to find that box for less in the future. That's all I'm telling you. We don't see boxes have major downticks after they're out of print, after no more reprints come, and after they do start catching some fire and going up. And so, when you see Evolving Skies over $500 a box, it freaks people out because, oh my gosh, it's only a few years old. It's over $500. It's too much, too fast. But here's the thing, guys. I've talked about this before too. Every time these boxes reach these new plateaus and they stagnate, and you see those lines kind of go flat for a long time. The reason that happens, a good example, it happened with Evolutions, right? The reason that happens is it reaches a point, right, where there's a battle going on. There's all of the early investors, the early collectors, the stores who held on the product. They're trying to dump their products and realize their gains, right? And that's what people were doing with Evolutions when it was in the 300 range, right? That's what people are doing with Evolving Skies in the 400s, right? They're trying to get those boxes and realize their gains, right? Well, at the same time, all those people they're selling to, those people are all collectors that are just getting back in the hobby or maybe missed out at the time and now they want to get in. Those are investors who are saying, you know what, no more Evolving Skies reprints are coming. I think this is going to continue to perform well. I want to get in. And so all those people that bought at those levels, right, they're not selling at 500, 550, 600, unless, again, they come into, financial hardships. They need the money. They just for some reason, no longer believe in it, whatever it may be. But the majority of them are not selling that box until it appreciates much more. And the reason you see these massive upticks like we just did with, Team Up, XY, now we're starting to see with Sword and Shield, is because when those levels of extreme supply get bought out, and it sends things skyrocketing. It's not that things are being manipulated. There's not buyouts happening. There's not all of these crazy, schemes that people come up with. The fact of the matter is the big stores who held tons of inventory, when you see these people with like 100 quantity available and you have all these stores trying to sell their product. You have the kind of you call them like paper hand investors who don't want to hold long term. They just want to try and get out because they've made a little profit. Once all those people are flushed out of the market and most of the product is now in the hands of long-term collectors, long-term investors, and people who bought in at the higher price points, they're not selling, right? They're not going to sell. So what you're going to see is the supply go much further down, and the demand, even if the demand stays the same, goes higher, comes down. If the supply keeps dropping, the price has nowhere else to go but up because there's less available, right? And as the price goes up, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It catches the attention. The YouTube news channels pick it up and they talk about the rise. And then other people say, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss out. I want to get in. New people that just got in the hobby, they're like, well, I don't want it to get away from me like Sun and Moon and Team Up did. And I want to, they get in, and, even investors will start averaging up. You've heard of dollar cost averaging. Some people will just average up. Like, even though it costs more than their original entry point, they want a larger position because they see the future in the product. And so it just, you have a lot of upwards pressure with very little downwards pressure at these moments. And this is the exact reason on the opposite why items stagnate, is when they reach that certain level, you have too much selling pressure and not enough buying pressure. And so, kind of like what we're seeing with like Celebrations right now, right? Celebrations had a massive run up in the beginning, but with the UPCs, even the ETBs, they reached a price point where a lot of people who bought in early and got in the ETBs in the 40s and 50s, a lot of people who got in the UPCs cheap, they're even stores that held inventory longer, they're continuously trying to dump their inventory at these levels because they want to realize those gains. They don't have the stomach to hold long term. And so it's taking a while for sets like that to sell through. But once they do, once all those once all the boxes are in the hands of people at the higher price points, those people aren't going to just like sell the product for as much as they bought it for. They're going to hold, and the product's going to have to move up because no one's going to be selling, and some people are still going to want to buy it. And as enough people want to buy it and no one's selling it, it pushes the price higher. And then again, like I said, that self-fulfilling prophecy. People see the prices moving higher, then they want to get in on the boat before it goes without them. And the same thing happens again and again. And like I said, none of this is strange behavior. None of this means it's I'm trying to think of like a great word to put it. It doesn't mean the market's doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean it's being pumped and dumped. It doesn't mean it's being manipulated. It doesn't mean it's irrational. It's a completely rational market, and it's completely normalized moves to see these things happen. We've talked about it before. Pokemon does not have these nice linear lines, right? It doesn't just move up 5-10% a year. Here's a newsflash. Your mutual funds, the S&P index doesn't move up a nice 10% a year, right? It has years where it's up 20, it's down 15, it's up 10, it's flat. Same thing with Pokemon. You'll have products that, hey, they'll have years where they're up 50, 100%. They'll have other years where they don't move at all or maybe downtrend. That's just normalized way of things. And when products sell out at Pokemon Center, it creates a stir. And that's why you see these massive price moves on Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies breaking out of of a lot of the massive positions, and all those big sellers are gone. That's the reason you're seeing this gigantic pump on Evolving Skies. I expect to see the same thing on Lost Origin. I mean, you saw it in Lost Origin. People are starting to realize, hey, all the supply is kind of drying up on the market. Now it's like Pokemon Center. Now people are waiting to see if it sells out on Pokemon Center. If that happens, you'll see another rise on Lost Origin. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. Doesn't mean it's being pumped. It doesn't mean it's going to crash. It's just a normal order of things when boxes get 2, 3, 4 years old, right? And then, from there, time stagnation, and you'll have times of booms like we saw with Sun and Moon, XY, after they become 4, 5, 6 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old, whatever it may be. But the having this worry that it's all going to crash on you, you're going to get left holding the bag, there's no data that's ever shown that, right? I mean, at worst, things stagnate. Maybe they trend down a little bit because they get a little illiquid because there's not a lot of buyers at one particular time. But we haven't seen it getting lower, lower, and lower. And we're always getting new people come in the hobby. Guys, the amount of new people that reach out to me, and I talk to others, they reach out to them, and they're just getting back in the hobby. They're buying up one of every box, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, XY, and they're buying in at the current market prices because that's all they know. They don't know Evolutions was everywhere at $80, $90 a box. All they know is, hey, This is one of the most iconic sets to modern Pokemon. I'm buying in at $800 a box, right? They don't know that, they don't really care that Moonbreon is 10,000 pop reports or this and that. All they know is, hey, this is one of the most iconic cards ever printed in Pokemon. If I want to buy it, it's $900 in a PSA 10. I'm going to buy it if they want it. Like, but see, us as like investors or people who are real deep into Pokemon, we sometimes read into things too much. And it's smart to do your research, your due diligence, but you have to always, like I always talk about, is think in terms of the general public. The general public, they're not thinking in terms of what you are. They're thinking in terms of what they want, right? What interests them, and where they want to put those dollars. They're going to vote with their dollars, and that's going to tell you where the markets are heading. And so, no, in my opinion, I would not be worried about any of these moves. No, I am personally not dumping any of my. Let's go through them. Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Crown Zenith. I mean, even Pokemon Go for that matter. You've seen that. Even Pokemon Go seeing some movement, but I'm not selling any of it. In fact, I'm continuing to buy more. I just made a deal last week for an Astral Radiance, Fusion Strike, and Chilling Reign case. I just bought more Evolving Skies boxes. I just brought another Brilliant Stars case. I am continuing to buy, even though, like I talked about before, my dollar cost average is actually being risen because I'm actually buying in now at higher valuations than when I bought in previously. So now I'm actually in these products average of higher price, but I don't care because I see the vision. I see the future for these products, and the popularity, the demand behind them, it's not going anywhere. But what is going somewhere is the supply. It's getting eaten up. It's getting stored away. It's disappearing from the market faster than anyone thought it would, as fast and in larger amounts than anyone thought it would. And it's going to happen before you know it. You're going to look, and all the big sellers are going to be gone. All the big stores aren't going to have any stock. And every listing is going to have one box or two boxes available. And the cases are going to get scarce. You'll start seeing case premiums like we're already doing. You don't know what that is? It's when people are actually willing to pay extra for a sealed case intact of all 6 boxes, more than what they would pay for 6 individual boxes. Because, like I talked about, just like you PSA 9, PSA 10 collectors, you like those strong 9s or strong 10s, right? Because even though it got the grade, you still don't agree with the grade sometimes. You think, some 9s are better than others. Well, guess what? Sealed collectors are the same way, right? They want that perfect, pristine box. They want the corners not dinged. They want the plastic wrap tight. They don't want any holes, any tears, or any ripples on it. And so that's why those sealed cases can become more sought after, because those mint boxes are inside instead of circulated boxes who've been shipped back and forth multiple times. You may have got a ding here or a little smudge in the plastic there. And so case premiums become a thing. And this continues to happen over and over because every time things are shipped, they can get damaged, they can get lost. Every time things are stored, they can, maybe a fire happens, a flood happens. Maybe people end up opening it. Maybe people sell it to a pack opener. Whatever it may be, but less and less product is always on the market. So no, I'm not worried about any of this stuff decreasing in value. I'm continuing to buy more. I'm continuing to hold. You have to do what not a financial advisor, not financial advice. You have to do what you want with your money and what you believe in. But if anyone's asking me, that's my answer. I'm continuing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm continuing to hold. I'm continuing to buy more. Scarlet and Violet. Guys, I'm a broken record with this, right? But I'm fortunate enough to have been in the hobby for a long time, right? Long time now. I'm going on 9 years. And I have heard literally word for word the same exact lines again and again and again, right? I heard it back with Evolutions, is that the secret's out, the cat's out of the bag. Rudy's got a YouTube channel. SM Pratt's got a YouTube channel. Everyone knows about Pokemon, Magic, and other TCG investing, and that's why it won't work anymore. We heard it more in Sun and Moon. Guys, what's fun? You know what's funny about this? You guys that are new, you guys think that Sun and Moon have low print runs because of what you're experiencing with Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. You may tell you something? When Sun and Moon came out, everyone said that Sun and Moon's print runs were too high. Anyone that was in this hobby, I'm right. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Sun and Moon base, right? Guardians Rising got the reprints because of the Tapu Lele and Burning Shadows got the reprint for the Charizard. And, Shining Legends was overprinted, was on the shelves, falling off, got a reprint still. And everyone said this stuff is so overprinted, it's not going to be able to rise over time the way that XY and black and white did. And then, time went on, pandemic happened, whatever, everything rose, right? But another thing happened. I started a YouTube channel and I continued to hear it. You can go back to old debates I had with other YouTubers, and they were telling me, Alex, Sword and Shield's different. The boom's already happened. Logan Paul got everyone that could ever want to be into Pokemon back into Pokemon. That's the only reason Sun and Moon rose. Sword and Shield's not going to follow that trajectory because it's not going to have that Black Swan event. And now we're seeing the exact same pattern with Sword and Shield. But again, we're hearing the same rhetoric in Scarlet and Violet. Alex, all of these sets are overprinted. They're too weak. They're weaker sets. Go look at XY and Sun and Moon and early Sword and Shield sets. You tell me these sets are weaker than those. Go ahead. Try to tell me that. They're not weak sets. But these are weaker sets. They're overprinted, whatever you want to say. Guys, the more things change, the more they stay the same. If you're asking me, I'm pretty confident in the next 2-3 years, it'll be the same exact pattern. We'll be hearing the same exact things from all the people who are negative and naysayers and bears. And, we'll have the people who want to come on and talk about other collectibles and the history of 90s sports cards and Beanie Babies and why pop culture collectibles are doomed to fail. Yes, I see your reserved investments. But guys, here's the thing. How long can guys like that be wrong before they're right? And what I mean by that is right now, right? Let's say right now. Let's say a guy like Reserved Investments, and I'm not trying to call him out by name, but he's one of the ones that comes to mind that's still always bearish. Let's say he's right, and Sun and Moon, XY, all these things crash 50%, right? Team Up crashes 50%, Cosmic Eclipse 50%, Evolutions 50%. You are still hundreds and hundreds of percent up on your money in a matter of 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Think about that. Hundreds and hundreds of percent. So it's like, even if some, mythological day in the future, those people are right and there is a downturn. It's kind of like the doomsday people on Wall Street. They're always calling for things to turn down. And eventually, right, there's always a downturn, and then they want to come on and act like they were right. It's like, bro, you missed out on 10 years of gains to be right 1 year. I can't even lose now. I've already sold and bought and sold like 5 different, eras by the time you're right. I'm so far up at this point. Even if everything I have were to go to zero, I'm still positive on Pokemon. And that's why I talk about in another video, the danger of waiting and not taking action can be actually more detrimental than never taking action and just being paralyzed by fear because you listen to the naysayers and the doomsday people, because it's very easy, right? I can be a doomsday guy. I could easily make content and cause doubt. It's very easy to cause doubt and fear. It's not a hard thing to do, right? But at the end of the day, it's all just, it's empty, right? There's no proof to anything they said except other collectibles or the boogeyman of the future. I always get accused of creating boogeymen. The bears create the biggest boogeyman of all, the boogeyman of the future. The future is always going to come and get your Pokemon investments, right? But here's the thing. People always want to say, Alex, past results don't guarantee future results. And nothing's guaranteed. However, name something else in life where people don't look at past results. Would you go and invest in a fund, in your 401k, a mutual fund, that you didn't look at the past 3, 5, 10, 20 years results of that fund? Would you ever go buy a house in an area where you didn't look at any historical data or any type of history of that area, values, anything, right? Do you think insurance companies don't look at historical results of things to determine what insurance rates are and what risk, they're going to take on? Everything in life, everything is based on historical data. Every investment you're going to make. But when it comes to Pokemon, oh, that's all out the window, Alex. You cannot use history when you're looking at Pokemon. It's completely different than everything else in life. And I just can't. I can't get on board with that. And this is why me and other people in this hobby, we butt heads and we see things differently, is because, it's easier to buy into the bearish mindset and just be fearful and never take action. But, even if you're right at some point in the future, like I said, you could still be wrong. If I make 100% of my money and in the future the market drops 50%, I'm still up 50%. You're still at zero because you never took action, right? You're still making, pennies in a savings account or 3% in the money market or whatever you're doing, right? That's the issue. It's like, even though those people may be right at some point, they're still wrong in the end because we all continue to see too much success in this hobby. And, of course, it's all based on trust. It's all based on, the value that we all assign to it. And so you could say, well, Alex, when World War III happens, all this stuff's going to zero. Guys, that's another thing I want to talk about. None of us, I get some of us might have been around in World War II or all the other wars. Here's the thing. Life doesn't just stop when a war happens. You guys know that, right? Like, when a war happens, life for every regular individual doesn't just stop. Maybe they have to draft people because they need more soldiers. Maybe the war zones, people are affected, but all business, all transactions, all things don't just come to a grinding halt. We have wars going on in Ukraine and Russia, right? We have wars in the Middle East. We have wars here, wars there. We have countries collapsing. Life still goes on everywhere else throughout the world, except in the very, I guess, like, targeted places where those things are happening. Everything else still happens. So guys, it's like, you talk about World War III is coming, or, all this crazy. It's like, okay, great. Life still goes on. Like, unless we come to a catastrophic event, worldwide nuclear war, we're all living in bunkers and there's, 90% of the world population dies. Guys, the pandemic happened. Life still went on. People still found a way to continue their businesses, whatever way, shape, or form they could. Some got shut down, right? But overall, life went on. And that's what you have to realize, is that you can get up every day and you can watch the news and you can choose to be entertained by it and get all afraid and be paralyzed and don't take any action and keep all your money in cash and hide it under your mattress. But life is going to go on without you. The markets are going to move without you. Crypto's going to move. The stock market's going to move. Pokemon's going to move. People are going to get promoted at their jobs. People are going to start companies. They're going to grow their companies. People are going to have children. People are going to die. People are going to be born. Life is still going to move with or without you. And that's the one thing you have to understand. No matter what people are saying, what's going to happen is going to happen. And I have no effect on that. I know people think I do. People think like I have the power to shill things, right? Because I have, a small YouTube channel of 8,000 something people. Guys, let's be real. On YouTube, that's extremely small. Even in this Pokemon space, it's extremely small. I don't have a big head. I'm very aware. I'm very assured of where I am, where I stand in this hobby. And I get it. I'm a nobody, right? I'm a peon. So I know I don't have any true effect, especially over a modern market where, remember, everything's printed into the ground. There's way too many of it. There's thousands and thousands of pop report. How could I have any effect on that thing? I don't. And so at the end of the day, you have to place your bets where you see fit. And if you're not using historical data because you say, well, it's not unfair to use that, it's not indicative of future results, what do you use then? What do you use? You just your own whim? Do we just get on like other people do and they just kind of spew a bunch of opinions and BS with no data and however they feel that day, that's how they invest or collect? Do we just invest in what we like? That's a good one, right? Invest in what you like. All right. Well, I like bulk V car. I like bolt-on Vs. I'm gonna buy thousands of bolt-on Vs. Hey, I invested in what I liked. I like dogs. I'm gonna buy all the Mabostiffs. I'm gonna invest in all the Mabostiffs because I like dogs. Does that mean my investments are gonna do good? I invested in what I liked. Why didn't my investments do good? Right? You have to invest in what the majority of people like. You have to try to guess the trends and pay attention to where everyone's talking, what everyone likes, the cards people want out of the packs, the cards the kids are putting in their binders, and you have to make an educated guess on what others are going to like and seek after in the future. You can't just go off what you want because maybe you're lucky. Maybe you're lucky and you just happen to like the things that everyone else wants. That's the best of both worlds. But you can't just rely on, if I like it, everyone else will. There's other people that are going to like it in the future. Maybe But if you're a real niche, if you like real niche things, it might be a very illiquid item, very hard to sell in the future. So that's kind of my rants I had for tonight, guys. Let me take some questions. Let me see where your guys' minds are at with all this. I hope some of this got through and helped some of you guys. What do we got going on? What do you think of AI grading? Hope I'm not asking too many questions. No. Christ Watchman, no. That's what this is about, these questions. AI grading. I think just like AI in general, just like all the things going on in life, I think it's further out to be as accurate as we would like than people think. I'm too dumb to be able to give you an answer on like the actual effect of it on the overall market. Like I can make speculations, but I have no clue. But I do think we are still a bit farther away than people think. I don't think it's like a this year, next year type thing. It might be like a 5-10 year type thing. But yeah, I mean, it could affect the grades. Here's the thing. Everyone kind of agrees in the community that the early PSA grades are kind of all over the place, and they're usually not as strong as like the 40 million cert PSA grades. And then, when you get into the 60 million and 80 million PSA grades, it becomes even stronger and more universal. And so that happened, and you do see premiums on the higher, like the newer PSA cases and grades than you do on the older ones, but it's not like a huge deterrent. So I would expect it to maybe be something like that, in my opinion. I don't think like an AI graded PSA 10 is going to make all the other PSA 10s of that card all valueless and go to zero type thing. But maybe it has a little bit of a higher, premium to it, kind of like you see with like a Pristine or a Black Label, or not a Black Label, but like a Pristine or something like that. It'd probably just be like a higher grade tier or something. But I don't think it's going to like drastically affect everything that came before that. My opinion, it could. Like I said, I'm too dumb to have an actual answer. I'm just giving you my opinion. Just ordered Temporal Forces. Hey guys, here's the thing. Don't buy in too much to all the news, right? Here's the thing you have to remember. Content creators have to make videos with titles and thumbnails and discussions that get views, right? People want to grow. And I want to grow too. I want to grow my channel. But there's some people that just like, they crave the sub count, they crave the view count, and they're basically just going to talk about things and say things that are going to get those, those views and subs to go up. And so I'd be weary of buying into the short print stuff and buying into the, the buy now because it's going to be too late. Not going to be enough of this set, and Pokemon starting to ramp down print numbers, and same thing goes on to that. Not Temporal Forces, but the whole Pokemon Pocket situation. Like, just be weary of buying into that stuff. Like, people like to over dramatize things for effect, for views, because it's YouTube. But guys, like I said, things have remained relatively the same. We had a boom, right? Things went sky high. They came down to normal levels. And then things just kind of picked back up where they always were. They started to kind of stagnate, maybe move 5-10%, have years where they move 30-40%, go back to stagnation 5-10%. We went through a time of Pokemon Go, the cell phone game. We have Pokemon online codes. There's just not a lot that's going to change the place of physical collectibles. And there's not, and going back to Temporal Forces, there's not a lot of products that are going to get released right now in the time we're in, with the demand right now and the supply, that are going to go to the moon and leave town without you and not get a reprint. You're not going to have a chance to get in. So if you got into Temporal Forces, or you're getting in at a good price point, you don't mind holding, you're not looking for that make money tomorrow, get rich quick thing, fine, no problem. But I wouldn't expect Temporal Forces to go to the moon overnight or in the next 6 months, a year. It's going to be like everything else. It's going to take time. Even if it is shorter printed, I'm sure more is going to come. I just don't see it. I don't see anything crazy with Temporal Forces. What are your thoughts on Evolutions boxes? They seem to be hard stuck after 3 years. My thoughts on Evolutions boxes is, they were released in 2016 and they're at $800. So we're looking at, 800, what is it, 700+% gain in 8 years of release. And so I think they're doing just fine. I think whenever things, like I said, move up too quickly, They don't usually crash. They usually stagnate for a while until all the people that want to take their profits and realize their gains sell out, and all the new people that are now holding the boxes at an 800 price range, then they stop selling and the market moves again. And we're just going through that stagnation time. That's why I think about evolutions. I think it'll rise over time, but like I said, it's already 700% up. I mean, at least with, Pokemon, you're not seeing major crashes when things like that happen. Go look at a stock. Go look at a stock in the market. Most stocks that run up hundreds and hundreds of percent that quick usually have a drastic downfall after. Pokemon doesn't. Modern sealed Pokemon doesn't, I should say. Other things do. I think I'm going to start collecting multiple copies of Sword and Shield Altarts and Trainer Galleries. I'll just enjoy collecting and maybe get... Yeah, I mean... That's one of those things I'm talking about with like an educated guess, right? Like, yeah, it's a speculation. Singles are more risky, but it's a good speculation. Tons of popularity in that time. A lot of the kids are continuing to get older that collected it. They'll eventually start getting jobs, making their own money. If they want to buy that stuff, they'll have the money to buy it, and then it'll force the market up. As the boxes get more expensive and the packs, are more expensive, maybe that'll help the price of the singles. So there's a lot of things going for it that make sense to move into those. Poke-san, yes, Evolving Skies is 600 soon. Yeah, I think there's only like maybe 2 sellers and about 6-7 boxes right now under $600 on TCG Player right now. And then it's going to be a $600 plus box unless more sellers come on the market. But the sellers are really starting to wear thin. Hot take. I love hot takes. The only way for a new set to get as hyped as 151 is if they release another Eevee set. That will be set to buy up the booster boxes. I mean, I don't think it has to be an Eevee set. Like Team Up wasn't an Eevee set. Flashfire, Phantom Forces, those weren't Eevee sets. Evolutions wasn't an Eevee set. I don't think it has to be an Eevee set. It just happened to be that's what Evolving Skies was. I just think it needs to be a large concentration of enough popular Pokemon in enough high rarities that people are seeking after that actually have hard pull rates. That's what I think we need. I don't think it has to be Eevees. I wouldn't buy any vintage solely as an investment except for First Ed base 9s. That's the only one that is a great buy right now. It's interesting. With the idea that Pokemon Center sells out and booster boxes don't crash, does that mean every booster box under Pokemon Center retail price is worth investing? Well, that would imply that all Scarlet and Violet era products are worth investing right now. I mean, technically, if you're talking long-term, obviously, I would say yes. If you're talking like all Sword and Shield, I mean, again, not financial advice, but in my opinion, yes. Yes. I would say every Sword and Shield era box right now that's still available under Pokemon Center pricing and still available at Pokemon Center. I mean, like even battle styles, like, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, those sets, I truly believe all those are going to be much higher in the future. It doesn't mean that if I'm trying to think of a situation. Okay. It doesn't mean if Obsidian Flames and Paldea Evolve were to shoot up to 140 tomorrow, that just because they're under Pokemon Center pricing, they're good buys, because you got to think, well, there's other factors. They're still brand new sets. They could still have reprints, which they most likely will. And so it still might not be a good buy because those could get reprints, get crashed right back down to 100 or sub 100. And then you could be down. Now, if you're saying, could it be a good buy for the next 10 years? Yeah, I would say probably yeah. What price point will indicate Sword and Shield boxes becoming uncommon to find? Probably Pokemon Center. Probably when they sell it on Pokemon Center, you start seeing them get in the high hundreds and $200 range. That'll probably be the time when people start to hold on to them more and not let them go. And a lot of the big stores will already be sold out by then. I love it. I love that we're getting megas. I was, like I said, I'm an XY fan. I came up during XY. I have a strong attachment to XY, so I love it. I already love them bringing back the EXs. Now we get megas too. Just icing on the cake. Just icing on the cake. Talk about how 151 is not going to be reprinted because they will release a Gen 2 version of 151 and sell the ish out of it. I think 151 will get reprinted. I think this hobby just, people move so fast, guys. Just because they have not reprinted something in a few months does not mean it's not coming. We just got Crown Zenith, Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest reprints after like almost 2 years, right? Or over a year. I truly believe we're still going to get 151 reprints. Now, I'm speculating that they'll probably reprint the ETBs and the bundles, and they probably won't reprint some of the other products like the UPCs. So that's why I'm stocking up on the UPCs. But I still haven't bought any other products. I truly think I'll have a chance to get in. If I do miss out and somehow they don't reprint it, well, hey, I missed out. But I'm okay with missing out than getting in too early and being crushed and being down for a large period of time when I just truly believe that reprints are going to come. The S&P isn't even comparable to modern sealed investing. I mean, I just like to compare anywhere you can put your money. Like, I know a lot of people don't like to compare S&P. They don't like to compare real estate. They don't like to compare traditional forms of investing to Pokemon because it's too much speculation. Oh, you should just collect it and have fun. Here's my opinion on it. You get your paycheck, right? You pay your bills. You have your money that you're going to invest somewhere, right? At that point, wherever you put it, that's an investment, and you're trying to beat the other places you could put it, right? If I truly thought, hey, I can make more putting it here than here, why would I not put it in place A? Why would you not do that, right? A lot of people are putting it in Pokemon because they believe that is going to outperform the S&P or a real estate or somewhere else, right? Or maybe, it's less, it's more passive than real estate or something else. But my point is like, you have to compare it to those things because it's somewhere you're planning to place your money for hopes that it appreciates. And so to not compare it to those things, I think is being, it's not being fair to yourself. I don't know if it's your mic, but it sounds staticky. Could be the mic. It could be the mic. MetaZoo boom incoming. I think that ship has sailed, man. Can you share your exit points on older sets when you do think it's time to sell? Here's the issue, right? Is I sold everything all at once. And so I haven't reached another exit point yet. What I mean by that is when I was buying, my vintage stuff, right? When I was paying, $2,000 for a base set box and $2,500 for a first edition jungle box and $1,500 for a first edition fossil box. And, the list goes on and on. I picked up a base set 2 box for $800, which was crazy. And then I started to buy Evolutions cases and I moved into Generations product and then Shining Legends and Burning Shadows and Unified Minds. And, I had like one of every box from X, Y, and Sun and Moon. And I was collecting and investing, and I was cracking boxes like first edition jungle and fossil and grading the hollows, selling off the light packs. And I would keep a lot of the 10s that I would grade, and I'd sell off the 9s and 8s and recoup the money in from the light packs and the 9s and 8s. And I'd sell off the commons, uncommons as lots. And I'd rinse and repeat. A friend would rinse and repeat that method. And I would just hold. And at the time, things were moving up very regularly, right? They were having very normal movement. Nothing was crazy. So I was very confident in the market. Well, we had the pandemic and everything went to the moon, and I was smart about it. And I said, hey, I've seen market spikes and crashes. This is all going to crash. And so I dumped everything all at once. I didn't plan on moving out at that time frame or a certain percentage gain. It's just when things have those 10x, 20x gains, you can't help. If you're responsible at all with money and you're not just like I don't care about money, I'm a collector type person, you got to sell into those kind of spikes. And so, well, now this time around, right, when I started to rebuy positions into Pokemon, I haven't come to a place yet where I've wanted to move out of positions. I've moved out of some positions. I'll take that back. When Celebrations UPCs hit $400 a box, I did sell out a part of my position there just because, I felt like at $400 price point for an ultra premium collection product, I felt like that was a good point to where, it could still go up, but we might see times like we're seeing right now, which I called it right. I should have sold all of them, where it could stagnate out and actually stay at this kind of price range for a while. And you could be saying that same thing to yourself about, here, another thing is like, the base set, the Rebel Clashes, sold out of those. Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze, I actually didn't buy into more cases of those. I had cases of those, and I had them for a short amount of time. And I flipped them and sold them during the boom because everything went to the moon immediately when you bought it back then. And I never bought into those. So everything I've been buying for long-term hold, other than like UP Celebrations, UPCs, and like maybe a few other things, I've been holding because I don't see major spikes that I'm afraid they're going to crash in the market. I see normalized movement. It makes sense to me. I continue to see movement upwards in the future. And I talked about it before. If you sell something, right, unless you sell in person or you sell, with no fees and small amount of shipping, you're going to pay some kind of selling fees. You're going to pay shipping. So if you sell something for $100, you don't have $100 to invest in a new thing. You have maybe $85 now to invest in something else. So now you have to make up that $15 and then some just to outperform that thing you sold. And so I don't have anything that I want to move out of and eat fees and shipping and stuff on and move into something I feel is going to do better. I'm actually confident in everything I'm holding right now. Maybe there'll come a time, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'm very transparent. This isn't like a cabal hour over here. I don't do things in secret. I don't, try to move in the shadows and do things without anyone knowing and then tell you after the fact. Hey, I'll keep you posted to tell you exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I feel about things. Right now, I'm confident. I'm still picking up positions. I'm still holding my positions in all sealed product. The only things I'm selling are Pokemon slabs, Pokemon singles. I am selling some Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed right now, but I bought that for a flip, right? Eli's program, if you're not a part of it, it's his Patreon. I don't think it's Patreon anymore. It's through his own website, but it's his wholesale program. He has products sometimes that are just the deals you can get them at. You can actually make money flipping the sealed product in the market. And so I'm just taking advantage of some of that right now. But it wasn't I'm still holding. One of the products I'll just tell you is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Collection 25th anniversary. I do have cases of that I am holding long-term, but I did buy extra cases to flip and make some profits, have some cash flow on it because there's a profit margin there. So that's really the only sealed product I have on the market lately. I don't see any reason to sell anything. I don't know where I'd move it that I feel more confident in right now. I am an only child. What gave it away? What gave it away? Brokenmon cards. Appreciate the love. Alex, are you buying cases? I'm buying a home and looking on the cases of Sword and Shield boxes. If so, Jacoby, reach out. Nostalgianomics@gmail.com or just PM me on Discord or Instagram at Nostalgianomics. Always buying. Obviously, I'd like to get some sort of a deal on it, but we'll see what market price is, kind of sell. I try to be fair with people as long as it's, we're taking off like the normal selling fees you would have paid on eBay, TCG Player, we're, leaving a little room, whatever. If I pay you without fee, whatever, as long as I can get in, where it makes sense to me, I will, I usually pay pretty fair, depending on what you got. So yeah, hit me up. Always buying. Nice to have you here, Alex. Appreciate you, man. I'm trying to have lives at different times, different days, so more people can be here. I do believe in sealed blister packs. I just don't really mess with them because on the back end, when you sell them, unless you sell by the case, it takes a long time to sell them, especially if you do like lots of 4 or singly. And so I don't want to deal with a lot of the back end sales time, but you can do well in them. Like they're good investments as far as price appreciation. 100%. Let's see. How far back am I? Oh, geez. 30 minutes back. All right, let's see. What we got? Looks like I got a real hater in the chat today. I don't know who lied to these YouTubers saying one line absolves them from any responsibility. Guys, when someone has something to sell you, you should probably not listen to them. What am I selling? Fargan Bastage. What am I selling? I just told you I'm not selling everything I'm talking about. Not selling it. If I wanted to sell you something here, should I pump my PSA slabs? Here, guys, go to my eBay and buy my PSA slabs. I'm going to pump them. I mean, like, I'm not selling you anything. I mean, this is a free YouTube channel. You can tune in. You can take the advice for what it is. Like, do it or not do it. I don't care. I'm just telling you what I do. What has worked for me for the past 9 years. I don't care if you do it, man. Do people, like, if you don't like this stuff, why are you here? Like, why do you come to a Pokemon investment channel if you don't agree with Pokemon investing? It'd be like me going to like a crypto channel and being like, crypto sucks. It's all going to zero. It's worthless. No one should invest in it. Like, don't take advice from this guy. Like, what does that do? It does nothing, man. Dude, this Farg, you like have like 100 chat messages. It's hilarious. Just rambling, dude. You don't have to be here. Like, there's 1,000 things you could be doing in life than listening to my live stream if you don't want to listen to it. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and sell stuff while we're here. Since he wants me to sell things, I've got something you can buy. You ready? The new merch is out, guys. If you want to buy something, here's the new merch. This is the Beware the Cabal shirt. It does come with the image on front or back. If you get it on back, you get a little NN logo on the front. But there you go. You got the Beware the Cabal with the vintage tombstone and the older, rare, or mint or better tombstone with all the Cabal members in the back. If you like that sort of thing. Comes in all sorts of, where are we at? It comes in all sorts of different colors for however you want to wear it, right? This is a good one. The Cabalin merch, if you guys like that, right? You got the Cabal in the graveyard, Cabalin out because they make so much dang money. And, again, all different colors it comes in. And here we got, I like this one. All right, this is me knocking out the Cabal in the ring, right? We got in the ring, knocked it out. And like I said, guys, so I got just the logo tees for the guys and the girls. All right, hey, if you're a guy and you like pink, you can wear the pink logo too. I'm not mad at you. We got the folk shirts. We still got the Sealed King. And then we got those 3 artworks. Like I said, all of these come with either the logo on front for the graphic tee, or if you want it on back, it has the NN logo on front and that on back. So it looked like something like this. Again, you can get any color you want, and the back would have the image on it. So if you guys want to purchase any of those, and if you're wondering, for anyone who thinks I'm chilling this, I make roughly $3 a shirt on those. And I paid a lot of money to have all the illustrations done because I didn't do them myself. And so, yes, I fully expect to lose money on the merch, but it's fun. I want to wear it around. I'd love to see others wearing it around at Collecticons. I think it'd be a good time. I think it gets everyone going when they see the Cabal stuff. And so I don't mind losing money on things like this. It's definitely not a money-making venture. I'll be happy to share all the financials on it in months if you guys think I'm making tons of money on merch. But I figured I'd sell something because obviously people in this stream think I'm here to sell you something. So there you go. I sold the merch. I made a liar out of myself. Hey guys, if I skipped your question, I'm not trying to dodge you. If I missed your question, just keep leaving it in the bottom of the chat and I will get to it. I'm just trying to scroll through and catch up. That's all. If you open packs, what do you do with all the common cards? They seem to stock up and take too much room. I'm one of the people that I sell at bulk, for like a penny a card. There's sites that have buy lists if you want to go check buy lists. Like sometimes if there's commons or uncommons or reverse hollows and things like that in the set, they can sometimes be worth some money, like 30, 50 cents, $1, even more. And you can sell those that way. But other than that, there's no real method. Like some people, they'll try to sell lots of them and sometimes they sell well, sometimes they don't. It's a lot of work. I don't really have a good option to get rid of bulk. I take the cheap, easy way. I just sell it to a store that does all the bulk, that they want. For me, I tell you a perfect person to ask Eli at Pokemart USA, because he's a bulk guy. He runs a bulk business. It's just, I don't like the business model. It's a lot of work for a limited reward. And the only way to build up a lot of profit is to do it on such a large scale with sorting machines and employees and shipping hundreds and hundreds of envelopes. And it's just not for me. But that's another way you can do is just ask him his advice. Absolutely. Yeah. Man, I feel so bad. I reached out to him last year around like Thanksgiving time, and obviously things were busy for him, around the holidays. And so I planned on reaching out to him after the first of the year to have him on. I still haven't got back to you. Pika Papa, man, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I haven't got back to you, man. I'll have you on the channel coming up here. I'm going to get better about having guests on. So, but yeah, absolutely. We should do a live, man. I know. I just, I got really, really busy at the beginning of this year. I had a lot of like stuff come in from PSA, a lot of things I bought that I had to get listed. I had a lot of sponsors reach out to me. Like, here's the thing, guys, like you think like, oh, Alex, you sold out, you have sponsors. Guys, if I show you the amount of sponsors that reach out to me, I could fill up 30 days a month with videos. Not joking, not lying one bit. I probably get on average 2 emails a week from sponsors. And especially in December, a lot of people were probably getting ready for their ad campaigns or new sponsorships for the new year. I mean, I was dealing with so many different companies I had to sort through. And here's the thing, I do my due diligence, right? So I don't just respond. I look them up and try to find out what their business is, try to, go through and use whatever their service, their site, and figure out if it's actually legitimate, if I want to promote this brand or support this person. And I was just so busy at the beginning of the year doing all that, and whatnot, starting the whatnot stuff and the streams. And so it just, everything got away from me. I'm finally getting back to a point now where things are more normalized. And so I am going to start having more guests again and get back to a more normal schedule. But yeah, I mean, guys, like that's the other thing. Like, it's very strange. This is the only community I can think of that is so hell bent on canceling people for monetizing or getting any sort of income from the hobby, right? I would not support anyone if I didn't trust them or believe in their service or product, right? And so, of course, I get paid for the advertisements I run, right? But Low Poppin', one of my sponsors, he's been in this hobby forever, right? I mean, a long time. Done tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars in transactions. I know people personally that have done 5-figure transactions with him. Very trusted, buy, sell, trade, everything about that, right? Some people don't like him because, they think the trade values aren't right, and that's fine. Like that's a legitimate concern, whatever. I can get more somewhere else. But as far as a buying and selling, or a seller, very trusted person. I like the guy. That's why I support him, right? Arizona TCG. It's a great service. Great consignment service. It literally costs you it would cost yourself to do on eBay if you want to sell slabs and you don't want to do all the work yourself. Guys are really nice. I support them. Into the AM was a sponsor I took on at the beginning of the year. It didn't work out. But love the shirts. They sent me the shirts beforehand, tried them on. They fit great. They looked great. I said, yeah, I'll support this for sure. I still wear the shirts sometimes on the stream. You see them. Who else? Like, Dan, I did an ad for Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles. I'm friends with Dan. I love Dan. I support Dan. Who else have I sponsored? Like, Canto Shark. Canto Shark's a super nice guy, right? Has had a good site, has always been a good upstanding seller in the community. Like, that's the thing, guys. Like, I don't support all these crazy like crypto NFT scams. Like, I've had tons of those reach out to me, or I've had tons of weird, fishy things reach out to me that I don't respond to, or politely decline, or whatever it may be, right? So, guys, I'm the furthest thing from selling out, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, if the things align, if businesses or the everything aligns with what other companies with what I'm doing and it fits well into my content, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna partner with them and promote their things and monetize the channel that way. Of course I am. So if that offends you, then I'm sorry. It is what it is. The only thing I can do is just going to be completely forthright, tell you exactly how things are. not trying to do anything behind the scenes, not trying to tiptoe around anything or hide anything. Guys, I'm an open book. If you got a question about something I'm doing, feel free to ask. I'll give you the straight up answer, and I won't run from it. Have you given up on One Piece investing? What can I do? The product isn't available, right? Places I was able to get the product from before, they're either not getting enough to do pre-releases, or they're pre-releasing it, but it's way high cost. Like, I'm not investing in a brand new card game at $150 to $200 a box, right? Even $130, $140, $150 a box. Like, sure, it might keep going, but it's like at some point that Steam's going to run out. At some point, the printing and the reprints are going to catch up. And I mean, I loved it when I was getting it at 80, 90, 100, even 110, maybe up to 120 a box, right? But I have no desire to buy things when they're already inflated in price right out of the gate, right? Like, so I like One Piece. I hope it keeps doing well. It's just, it's above my risk tolerance, right? Like, and here's the other thing. It's like, I don't want to just buy like one box, or like, you know, I mean, if I move into something, I want to move into a large enough position to where if I get it right, I make a substantial amount of money. Like, I don't want to buy one box and have it go up $100, and after fees and shipping, I make like $80. Like, big deal, right? Like, if I move into a position, I want to be able to get multiple quantity. So when I'm right, I actually get rewarded for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I don't believe in it or I gave up on it. It's just, I have nowhere to get product at good prices anymore. So what do I do? Arceus boxes undervalued. I'd say properly valued. I'd say they're getting to properly valued, man. You know, I haven't paid attention to the promo in a while. I don't think the promos do anything too crazy. You know, cosmic packs, there's a ton of cosmic packs, so those are out there. The Cosmic Eclipse is one of those sets where the pack prices are not keeping up with the booster box prices because they were flooded on the market outside of boxes. And so in the other packs, I think it's pretty properly valued right now, to be honest with you. You know, honestly, I thought they were, and they still might, Foking, but it's starting to feel eerily similar to Evolving Skies, right? We kept hearing the reprint's coming. The reprint's coming, right? And I heard that in my Discord. Everyone was saying, oh yeah, 151's getting a reprint in January, February. It's getting a reprint, it's getting a reprint, it's getting a reprint. And the farther we get through this year and the reprint doesn't come, I think it becomes less and less likely that it's going to come. Just like Evolving Skies, we kept hearing it. It kept going up in price, 270s, reprints coming, 300, reprints coming, 350, reprint, 400, reprints coming. And finally people gave up and they said, you know what? This set's 2.5 years old. Probably not getting a reprint. So 151, it's got a while to go still. A reprint can come anytime, but it's looking better and better every day for people that don't want it, because where is it? Where is it? It's not coming. Do you believe in other TCGs? I believe in other products in other TCGs. Like, I've talked about it. I mean, I think I have it back here. Yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh! 25th. I bought a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! 25th anniversary stuff, right? The Legendary Collection, the reprint booster boxes. Like, I believe in that. I believe in the power of nostalgia, and a lot of people are going to want to open that stuff in the future. Like, here's the thing, guys. Like, I don't believe in this stuff going to the moon. I believe in making a higher percentage gain than what I could putting my money in the S&P index, right? Or a mutual fund. And so when I say that is, you know, people are worried that things aren't moving fast. It's like, if those boxes double in 5 years, and or say they a little more than double, and I can sell with fees and shipping, double my money, right? After everything, double my money in profits. That's a win for me, because I can't do that usually in the S&P or mutual funds, right? I'm not going to double my money in 5 years. And so if I can continuously double my money or more in things like this, it makes sense to me. And so for me, again, not financial advice. You have to make that decision for yourself. But for me, I've made the decision. I'm more confident in a lot of these things that I put my money into, that they are going to double me my money in 5 years or less, where other places will not. So yeah, I invest in that. Magic, not so much. That the Ultimate Masters box, that's more of like a memory of, you know, Rudy's channel back when he was going heavy on the Ultimate Masters bingo, and I just remember a lot of that. I used to watch that a lot when I was like really like doing my eBay deep dives and really learning Pokemon. I always have Rudy on in the background, and it was just something to remember. I always liked Ultimate Masters, but I don't really invest in other Magic. No, it's really just been Pokemon. That Yu-Gi-Oh! 25th stuff was the first stuff. I did have some vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Before the boom, but I sold that into the boom as well because vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Boomed with Pokemon too. So I haven't really been buying vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore either. One Piece was just a shot in the dark because of the hype and the people told me was going to happen. So it's mostly Pokemon, but other things I'll dabble in. I'm not against any of it. It's just, you know, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much knowledge you can learn, right? I would guess soon. Lost Origin is now pushing. Here, we can look it up real time if you want. We can look it up what it's pushing, what price points it's pushing. The Lost Origin. It looks like it is pushing. So it's already selling for much higher than the Pokemon Center, right? $160 is what it's selling for on TCG Player. So you can buy it for what, 144 on or 141 something. I forget. Here, again, what am I talking about? It's real time. I can just go ahead and look it up right now. Pokemon Center. Let's go check it out, guys. Wouldn't it be funny if we looked and it was sold out right now? All right, Pokemon Center. Yeah, 143. And it is not sold out. So, yeah, I mean, it's already selling for a good amount more than Pokemon Center is right now. So I would guess very, very soon. I would expect people to start to realize that and say, well, even after taxes, I can get it way cheaper on Pokemon Center. So I would guess very soon because this is a $160 plus box again. What up, Adam? Thanks for being here, man. The wholesale site you mentioned? Yeah, Pokemart USA. See it. I gotta see how, you know, I don't even know how to log into his thing. Oh, that store is currently unavailable. Gosh dang it. Anyone interested in Eli's program, check back here tomorrow. Okay. Like click on this video tomorrow and go to the pinned comments at top. I will, I'll get the link from Eli and I will share it in the pinned comments. And that way you'll be able to click on that if you want to join his wholesale program. We got a knockoff Rudy here. That's funny. I've never seen Rudy do live streams. Strange. Have you guys ever seen him do live streams where he talks market? Huh. All right. I mean, I know you're trying to hate, but do better, man. Come on, do better. Andy said, I love your transparency and unbiased opinions. Don't let the troll get you. Oh, I don't. It doesn't bother me, dude. He's not bothering me. He actually should do a little better. Except Rudy actually knows what he's talking about. Yeah, I don't know nothing. Hey, guys. What's worse? A guy that doesn't know anything, or the guy listening to the guy that doesn't know anything? What's worse? Like, you just trolled yourself, brother. Oh, man. Nick, what is up, my man? Hey, and guys, I appreciate you guys, sticking up for me, but you don't have to. I mean, I don't mind the trolls. Like, I can brush off the trolls left and right. I mean, the amount of hate I get in this hobby is nothing new to me. It just comes with the territory. Do you think Pokemon will continue Fate's holiday set releases going forward? And how do you think it impacts values of existing? I actually originally, I think I even said it. I originally thought it would help out Hidden and Shining Fates a bit. And I think, here, again, We're live. Duh, I can go look it up. I think it actually did help. I think it did give Shining Fates a little bit of a kick up. Let's see. But yeah, I actually originally speculated it actually would help those sets out. Let's see what's going on. All right, Shining Fates. I guess not too much really. We're having some sales. Well, yeah, this chart actually hasn't caught up. So yeah, we're having sales in the $48 range now. Lowest list is $48. So realistically, yeah, this chart's up here. So if we look at the year chart, $48, yeah, it's actually back to its almost year high. So yeah, it does look like it actually is helping out Shining Fates a bit. Now you could say, well, it's just normal appreciation because it's starting to get older. Maybe. But yeah, it does seem like it's helping out. Let's go ahead and see what the Charizard's doing. Charizard still looks like it's down. I've actually sold a few of these lately. They sell very quickly. I graded multiple in PSA 10s, and they all sell within like a week of being listed, and I was not always the lowest listed. So they're very high in demand on the Charizard still. But the price point is still staying stagnant. So, and then Hidden Fates. I'm sorry, we didn't look at Hidden Fates either. I don't think Hidden Fates is doing too much either, though. Let's see. Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates is, yeah, it's still stagnating in the 170s, you know. I guess it's back to about 180 now. That's a 0% feedback seller, 180. We're seeing sales in the 180. Yeah. Okay, so Hidden Fates is back up. Hidden Fates is actually 1 year high. So yeah, it actually is helping the Fates sets. And that's what I speculated it would do. I mean, guys, there's other factors. We can't 100% say that's why it's happened, but I mean, it is strange they're both heading up after they hadn't been heading up in a long time. So yeah, it does look like the Paladin Fates is helping the Fate sets. So yeah, I mean, it seems about right? It gets people's attention on it again. Didn't you do some clowning YouTubers with paywalls? I don't know. Seems hypocritical from an outside standpoint. So if you guys don't know the whole story, you can actually go look at old streams. This always gets convoluted. I have never once in my life been against paywalls. Never once. If you go back and listen every single time, I've said publicly multiple times, I would happily support certain creators' paywalls, such as Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles, right? I've had issues with certain people in this hobby for trying to my opinion, trying to hurt my channel, trying to discredit my views or discredit the points I'm making and make me, and so I didn't want to support that person's paywall and other people's paywalls or support them. That doesn't mean I'm against paywalls. I've actually argued multiple times in the past for paywalls, right? For, paying people for their knowledge and expertise. Think of it this way. If you could, mentor someone on a job that you wanted to do or a business that you wanted to start, right? And, you could just go and they could teach you everything they've learned and have you be able to avoid the pitfalls and learn the tips and tricks, introduce you to other people in the community, really kind of show you how to either start a business, build out a business plan, to deal with the taxes, to deal with inventory, where to buy, where to sell, and show you all that. Or even compile data that you could find free, right? You can find the data everywhere, but compile it all in one place for easy to digestible snippets. I think that's valuable. I would personally pay for that. I don't see anything wrong with charging for that. If it's for entertainment purposes and you just want to support a creator that you enjoy, nothing wrong with that. If there's other benefits, like obviously Eli's, he has a benefit for distribution, and Rudy's distribution. I don't see anything wrong with that. I've been critical of other creators and other people in this community because of how they've treated me and treated my channel and come down on me and my views and kind of that's a whole separate story, right? It's not that I don't support the paywall. I just don't support them, if that makes sense. I hope I answered that the best I could for you. Who's this guy in the Under Armour hat? Same guy it's always been. Oh, man. Nothing wrong with sponsors. Dude, guys, there's nothing wrong. If you, in my opinion, everyone's opinion is different. If you are not scamming, lying, cheating, stealing, anything like that, there's nothing wrong with any other way of making money in anything you're in. Nothing, in my opinion, right? I don't sell mystery packs. I have no plans to, but the creators that sell mystery packs, I know there's all kinds of, people that are against that. I'm not against it. guess what? I used to buy mystery power boxes when I got back in the hobby at Walmart in 2016, 17, 18, whenever they came out. I used to buy the mystery products. If I'm a customer of them, why should I be against other people wanting to buy that stuff, right? I talked about it before, like affiliate links. Affiliate links are the single best way you can support your favorite creators, right? There's links in the description. If you're going to already go shopping, I'm not trying to push anything, I'm not telling you to go buy stuff. If you are already planning on buying something and you just click the links in the description to TCG Player or eBay, I get a small kickback for sending you to their site. You pay nothing extra. It's the best way to support creators you like. Not just me, anybody. It costs you nothing. They get supported. Best of both worlds. Advertisements. Look, you can, if they don't interest you, you can fast forward through them. You can give me crap for it. Advertisements are a thing, right? YouTube runs them on every video. I don't even have a say on those advertisements. YouTube just runs them. I don't know what they're advertising. Some things probably I wouldn't want advertising on my channel, but I have no say in it. People are against everything in this community. They're against pack breaks, right? Here's the thing. Everything I do, I've been a customer of first, right? I've been involved in pack breaks, right? I've purchased pack breaks back in the day, so I've done it before. I get it, right? And so if it's something I would buy myself, why wouldn't I offer it to other people? Some people are against like first to market grading. Here's my view on that. If people are out there that want to buy that card right when it hits the market, even though, there's tons of data showing it's going to continue to drop, who am I to stop them, right? I'm just going to continue to put it on the market. If someone's there to buy it, not my problem, right? Someone's going to sell that card to them. They're going to buy it from someone. It's like there's so many like ins and outs in this community, and people like they cherry pick which ways are like moral and which way aren't moral. And it's a way to it's the same thing with Republicans, Democrats. Like it's the racism thing. It's just, they're all the ways to divide people, like just to divide people against each other. How about this? Everyone can, as long as you're doing it in a moral way, you're not cheating, lying, scamming, you should be able to make money any way you want. And if people don't like it, don't do it. If you don't want to support me, don't click my affiliate link. Don't buy my merch, right? Don't participate on pack breaks. Don't buy from my eBay store or TCG Player. You can just come to this channel. You can watch the videos for free and you can go on about your way. You can never pay a dime. I don't care, right? So don't bash others if they want to support people. Or don't bash other people for, monetizing whatever they do in any way, shape, or form. I don't bash people for making money. We got to stop this division, guys. I talked about it before. Everyone can win. Just because you're winning, it doesn't mean the other person's losing, right? If I open a pack, right? If I open a pack for a pack break and I make money on the pack, what if that person pulls a chase card and they made more money than the pack's worth, right? What if I sell a graded card to someone and they hold it for a certain amount of time and it goes up in value? I made money because I made a profit on grading the card and making a margin. They made money on it going up in value. Maybe the person they sell it to makes money, continues to go up in value. I don't know, but there doesn't have to be this winners and losers division, me against it. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way, guys. Stop making it that way. I support non-biased sponsorships over paywalls. Dude, here's the thing with paywalls. You want to know how easy it is to just not be a part of a paywall? You just don't click. Here's what people don't understand. With my channel, again, I'm a small channel. What do we have? 8,000 something subscribers. My normal videos get 2, 3, 4, 5,000 views. You, right? Pika, I'm not picking on you, man. But any one of you, right? Maybe you've been in the hobby a long time. Maybe you've went through the school of hard knocks. Maybe you know where to buy, where to sell, how to run a business, how to deal with taxes, how to grade, how to pre-grade, how to understand how to find cards that are worth grading, how to invest in this stuff. Maybe you know all that stuff. Others don't. I just told you there's thousands of people that watch this, right? When I was brand new to the hobby, I didn't know stuff. If I could take back, and there's some people that love the school of hard knocks. They want to go learn themselves. I don't want to do that. If I could go back and not spend all the hours and days I spent scouring, E4, right? I'll shout it out before it got bad. E4 and all these online forums, like learning, right? Just consuming information, going in and just all these old articles, all these old sites, and all these old things people have found, and learning about all the ins and outs of all the different prints and Pokemon, and then like learning how, trial and error, where the best places to buy and sell, and grading, and can I open boxes? Can I, flip from here to here? Can I arbitrage it? What's a good hold? What's not? If I could condense all that information down and have it just taught to me from a mentor and pay him something, whatever it's worth, and just be able to sidestep all that time, I'd do it. I'd pay it, right? If there was a place where I could get all that information and not go through all the pitfalls myself and just start off on a leg above everyone else that's new, I'd pay for that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, not every product and every service is for everyone, but it is so wrong to make others feel bad for, one, offering a paywall service, but two, this is the big one, right? To make others who are in those services feel bad. Like, maybe they get a ton of value from it. Maybe it's really helped them. And then maybe they get to a point where it no longer helps them and they want to leave. And that's fine too. But you shouldn't assume that just because you know something or your experience that everyone doesn't need it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the whole like online course guru stuff, right? If you want to say every online course is a scam, then what you're saying college is a scam. You have to be. You have to be saying that. You're paying for college, right? You're getting a lot of information. Most of it's very unuseful. And if you don't use it correctly, it's not going to make you any money. Same thing with online courses. I've taken multiple online courses, right? And guess what? Some of why I'm right here today on YouTube is because of some of those online courses, things I've learned, right? There's tons of testimonials from people. Just because 99% of people see no value from online courses, it's because those people, they don't put in the effort, they don't take the risk, they don't take all the advice given. Sometimes, the things that worked in online courses when they were created no longer work when the time comes because things move too quick, but it doesn't make it a scam, right? Guys, full transparency, no, I'm not making an online course, not selling anything, all right? So get that out of your heads. What I'm saying though, if I were to make an online course, hypothetically, let's not take me out of it. Let's say, let's pick on Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles. If Catch 'em All Collectibles, I'll hear about this later from him, putting him on the spot. If Catch 'em All Collectibles were to make a course, right? Or Rusty TCA Gaming were to make a course, or one of the other big giant people in the hobby were to make a course, right? And they were to teach you all of the knowledge that they've compiled over all the years of running their Pokemon businesses and made a course on how to run a Pokemon business successfully. If 100 people took that course and 99 of them failed, does that mean that course is a scam? Does it? Nope. It means the people who took the course didn't take all the information to heart. They didn't put forth the effort. They didn't take the time. They didn't take the risks. They didn't put forth the right amount of capital, whatever it may be. But if one person succeeded, that means it worked. That means it wasn't a scam, right? Now, are there scams out there? Of course. Of course there's scams. I'm not saying every freaking course is not a scam. Tons of scams. But it doesn't take away from the ones that are not scams. It doesn't take away from the fact that you can teach people things, right, for a fee that actually help them. There's nothing wrong with that. And so for anyone that does have a paywall or a course, congrats. I hope all your students and everyone you have are getting value from it. I don't have that. It's critical thinking, guys. You just have to think critically. You got to think critically. Sets like Silver Tempest and Astral Radiance are still a buy at 125. Silver Tempest, I think you can still find it cheaper. Maybe not though. Astral Radiance sounds like a great price, but yeah, they're yes. Again, not financial advice. I would buy them. Here, fact is, I just bought them. I bought a Silver Tempest case 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just bought an Astral Radiance case last week. Fair enough. That's what I think about it. Do I think Shining Fates has reached its peak at $45 in ETB? Personally, no. I do not think $45 is its peak. Kai. All blue TCG. I just wanted to thank you for all you do for the community. Thanks a lot, man. You're one of the main channels that motivated me to start my own channel. Oh, it's awesome. We are very small but growing. It's been a blast. Is this the channel? Guys, all blue TCG. Make sure to check them out. You're getting a shout out, man. I hope it helps you. Hope the channel's going well. I really appreciate the support. What do I think about sealed vintage packs? I do like sealed, right, over graded or singles vintage. But are we talking about light packs or heavy packs? I think heavy packs will do well just because the thrill of the gamble and the possibility of having one of those chase cards and be able to grade it in a 10 is always going to be too much for people, and they're always going to get open until the end of time, and they're always going to be less and less and less, which will drive the price up. The light packs, I'm not 100% sure. I know there's collectors out there. I'm just not sure if there's going to continue to be enough collectors for the amount that are out there and are graded and continue, because, you know, boxes are still open to those things from time to time, and a lot of the light packs don't get opened, and they end up getting graded and kept sealed, so it's kind of like there's more inventory of packs every time boxes are open, if that makes sense. So I like the heavy packs. I like the heavy packs. And I know when you get into Neo Destiny Expedition, that's a lot harder. So I just thought about that. Yeah, that's a lot harder because you can get a Shining in Neo in a lighter pack. In Expedition, that's all over the place. Oh, man, that's rough. So maybe, yeah, maybe those packs can be fine because of that fact. Fossil, heavy. Fossil, those are easy to weigh. I weighed tons and tons of Fossil packs in my time, back when I was opening Fossil boxes and opening the packs. Very easy to weigh. I like the heavy packs of Fossil. Neo Destiny Expedition, that's a gray area. They might be okay, in my opinion. Evolving Skies booster box case. Be nice to find it under 3,000. You know, $500 a box is what is 1, 2, 3,000. So yeah, under $3,000, I'd look to find it for. I'm not isn't selling you anything yet. Plans on having a Patreon. Told you don't buy into what he's peddling. What knowledge, expertise do you possess that is worth even a penny? Man, you know what, dude? I don't think I could give you anything that's worth anything, because I don't think you would take action on anything, even if I taught you it. Even if I told you how to, you know, create gold out of thin air, you probably still wouldn't do it, just out of spite of me. So I don't expect you to ever think anything's worth anything that I do. So yeah, Evan, perfect. It's pretty easy. Just don't do it. And so this is actually a good point out to take. So you possess zero knowledge that isn't already available for free by someone who actually has succeeded in said space. This dude's a clown. All right, dude. I'm just going to have to just get rid of you, man. You're not saying anything productive, but I will take that, though. There's already sites that charge a membership fee that compile data. So obviously people have unanimously decided that compiling data in a digestible form, even though you can go find it all over the place for free, that's already valuable. So I don't know, if I make videos compiling data where you don't have to go search and find it all for yourself and spend hours, and you can find it all in a small amount of time, or there's there's I don't know, maybe there's spreadsheets that you can always go, find the actual current market of all those things. So you don't have to go search millions of listings and TCG player, sales, and here, this sale, that sale. If you can go find it all in one digestible place for each set, that might be valuable. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm just saying, like, there's millions of things that are, a lot of the courses, right? Like, can you go, start your own business and find out how to build an LLC, find out about taxes, find out about how to sell Pokemon? Can you go do all that? Sure. If you could have someone sit down with you one-on-one and take you through step by step in one afternoon, is that more valuable? I don't know. To some people it might be, right? If someone, let's take it out of Pokemon. If someone, let's say you want to be a stockbroker or a money manager, and, someone said, well, hey, you can go to college and learn about it for 4 years, or you can go shadow this guy who's been a stockbroker and money manager for the last 40 years of his life at 10 of the largest brokerage firms, and he's going to teach you all about it in the next 6 months. What do you think is more valuable? Just because the information's free doesn't mean it's not putting it together, or, hearing it in a different way that makes sense to you is not, it's like, well, all the information in school's free. I can just go buy textbooks and read it myself. Why are we paying for college? You see what I'm saying? How ridiculous it sounds? I know you're trying to, like, get me flustered or get me. You're not going to get me, bro. Like, do this all day. You think you're the only hater? I got, like, thousands of haters across this interwebs. It's nothing new, man. Brew City TCG, what is up? Vince G's in the house. Sorry, Vince, no packs tonight, man. Just talking. Whoa, this is heated. I don't feel heated. Like, maybe some of these guys in the chat are heated. I'm more relaxed as can be, man. I'm hanging out. The same people who question who is this guy buying from the market 10, who is this guy buying the first market 10, are those that are rushing to get those 10s to market. I find it odd that PokeTubers are critical. Exactly, TKK. 100%. And again, I'm not critical of those people. More power to them, right? If there's a customer there, as long as they're not, okay, let me preface this. As long as they're not, like, getting on platforms or their own channels and, like, pumping up that card and being like, this is going to be a great investment, you need to buy this. Like, as long as they're not doing that and they're just casually grading it and flipping it, what's wrong with that? There's buyers that want it. Who am I to tell them how to spend their money? I make videos all the time telling people, hey, these cards drop after release. If I make those videos, I'm talking against myself, and I still flip cards first to market and they sell. What else can I do? What do you want me to do? Right? What single item is the largest chunk of your portfolio? I don't have any crazy big items anymore, man. My first edition PSA 9 Blastoise just sold. That was a $4,000 card. Sold for $4,250. That was probably the largest single item that I own. Like I said, all my XY and Sun and Moon boxes were sold during the boom. All my vintage slabs were sold during the boom. All my other ones, like probably Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies box is like the highest valued single item, I think. I don't know. Maybe I have a few slabs that are worth in the high hundreds. Well, yeah, I guess I have my Mewtwo, Mewtwo, the Shining Legends Mewtwo Secret Rare. I think that's worth in the $600-700 range. I still have some vintage first edition PSA 9 base sets. Like Alakazam is valued over $2,000, and the Raichu and the Nidoking, those are in the thousands. Like, but those are for sale. Like they're not investments. So I don't have those big grail items type thing. Like I said, I have a lot of sealed items. I have large quantities of lower valued stuff. Alex has pulled multiple Zards. I have done that, man. And it's been a blast doing it. I hope to continue to pull more for you in the future. You know, that's the other thing. Like, it's funny. You know how like people, you know, like Rattle, like will find those scammers who like reseal packs or whatever and take out the hits. If I were to do that, I would want to put hits in the packs. Like I get pissed when I go through a certain amount of packs and don't get hits. So much so that's why I built the second chances box. And I always make sure to give everyone who opens packs at least something, because I can't stand people not getting something. Like if I had my way of things, if I wanted to, I'd actually seed the packs with more hits to make sure the night went better and everyone was having a good time. That's how crazy I am. Oh man. Same thing kind of happened against Pokenomics Cabal Paywall. People freaking out about $10. So that's the thing, like Bruce City, like I've said publicly multiple times back in the day, I said, I would love to support Dan and I would pay for that. I'd pay for his service. I said it a million times. I'd pay for it. I just have a problem with Pokenomics. We have personal relationship problems. He really tried to discredit a lot of the things I said back in the day. It really hurt my channel. I think him and, you know, other friends of his, whatever you want to call it, Cabal, I don't care, hurt my channel, hurt my credibility. And I had to fight through that in the beginning. And it was not easy, right? Coming into the scene fresh. I wasn't in any of the cliques or any of the friend groups, and having a lot of those cliques and friend groups against everything I said in my message and really hurt my channel, my credibility. I still hold on to that, right? And so because of that, I can't support someone who's partnered with Dan and pay for a paywall where he gets part of the money. I can't do it, right? Doesn't mean I'm against the paywall, like the definition of having the paywall or Dan or anything. It's just I can't support someone that did that. So that's all that is. Like, but yeah, it's the same thing, like you said, man. It's like if people don't want it, don't do it. Dan still makes content. Watch his content. It's free. I still make content even after I have a Patreon in the future. It's free. No one's telling you to sign up. But for people that want to, here's the thing, guys. You don't see behind the scenes. You guys see the chat. You guys see the comments. You see, you know, Discords or what people say about me online. You don't see my email feeds, right? You don't see my Instagram. You don't see my DMs on Discord. You don't see the volume of people that reach out wanting help, right? Wanting advice, wanting to learn this or learn that. And it's finally got to a point where I can no longer respond to every single person. I just can't do it. I don't have hours in a day, right? I mean, it was to the point where I'd wake up and I'd be in bed, you know, laying there, responding to emails and all that stuff for like 45 minutes before I got out of bed. And that's not including YouTube comments and all the other stuff. And so not only that, people want more personalized help. I've had people literally reach out and ask me, and I've been putting it off, right? But you know, people want that personalized help. Like, hey, let's get on a live call, run me through X, Y, and Z. I want to get this going. I want to get this started. Show, you know, and sorry, I've started multiple businesses. Like I've started multiple service-based businesses in lawn care and landscaping and home cleaning. It was a maid service and out exterior power washing company. And then I, you know, have a detailing and ceramic coating company. I mean, I've had a lot of different services where I've went through the whole process every single time, whether it be putting employees on 1099s or W-2s, whether it be setting up, you know, the business and doing all the LLC and doing business as paperwork and, you know, the sales tax stuff and getting sales tax exempt on sites and, you know, setting up buying and selling accounts, how to grow, you know, best practices, best places to buy materials, best, you know, where to find, you know, cars to grade, where to find supplies, where to, you know, just this whole slew of different things where, yeah, it's valuable to people. Right. And, unfortunately I don't have the time on my hands to, you know, talk to 100 different people, you know, for free every day. Right. If I didn't need, you know, if I had nothing else to do with my life, sure. right? But, you know, it just doesn't work that way. I'm not touching that. I see you guys talking about a certain person. I'm not even going to touch that, guys. I'm really trying to move out of the drama stuff. I know I've mentioned names tonight, but that stuff's pretty well known. I'm not going to get drug into like tons of drama. Yeah, I mean, some of the courses might be crap, but some of them have worked for people. I mean, there's people that have become successful because of courses. So, I mean, it's hard to throw the baby out with the bathwater and just say every course is crap, everyone's a scammer, right? And the truth is, it's just a lot of people just don't want to put forth the work and effort to make themselves successful. I didn't mean I don't support paywalls. I'd pick the method of funding via sponsorship over paywall, but either way. Yeah, I get you, man. You know, you're good. I didn't mean to pick on you, dude. You were the name that asked the question. Like, that's all it was, dude. I'm not picking on you. Alex's argument right now sounds very familiar to an argument Dan has always made. Also, like both these guys, Dan's right. Dan's always been 100% right. Pokemark TCG, what's up, my man? How do you avoid getting scammed by buyers when selling sealed cases in the future? For example, the buyer could just replace the stuff inside the cardboard case and say, yep, those are real concerns. I don't have a good answer for you. I will say I sold hundreds of thousands of dollars of Pokemon and it's never happened to me. One thing I would do is I would, and this sucks, I know, and I'll get blown up for this, I know. But when selling high dollar stuff like that, I would probably not sell to zero feedback or no feedback or low feedback accounts. I would probably sell to established accounts of people that have a long track record of buying and selling. Maybe even people you know or people that other people have vouched for, things like that. That's just the unfortunate truth. I have 100% canceled transactions before, especially during the boom when I was selling things. And you know what? The people that I canceled on, they could have been very nice people and then 100% forthright, and they were just getting into Pokemon and they had a bunch of money to blow. But I didn't feel comfortable sending multiple $1,000 items to someone with no track record on eBay. So it's the unfortunate truth, but that's my advice for you, man. Does 700 for first edition base Nidoking sound cheap to you, given heavy packs are around 15K and only 30-ish are added to the pop in the last 52 weeks? Thoughts? I know you were once owned recently. Yeah, I'll give you that, man. It does sound cheap, right? I mean, I don't know, the market. I don't know what a PSA 10 goes for. So I don't know like the multiple it has on the 9. I don't know like the actual metrics on how, the difficulty of getting a 10 over a 9 on that card. But yeah, I mean, at this point, the amount of first edition base set packs that are going to get opened are going to be so slim. The amount of mint cards that are still out there are slim. I am a fan of the first, right? I'm not a fan of a lot of older WotC, newer WotC and like Nintendo era and mid era stuff. I don't think there's enough demand for it, enough popularity. I am a fan of first edition base. I've been very clear about that. And yeah, it does sound cheap to me. Yeah, I got you guys. It's a funny place to be, right? Because if I skip the questions from the haters, people think like I'm weak or I'm dodging them or I can't take the heat. And then if I take too many of the questions, it's like, Alex, we don't want to hear you going back and forth with people. We want to hear the Pokemon discussion. So it's a weird balance, but I feel like I've addressed the haters enough now. I'm not going to take any more of it. Like, you got my answers. There it is. Yeah, there'll be a Patreon coming. Absolutely. There'll be multiple benefits to it, I'm not going to reveal all of it yet, but the channel memberships are going to disappear. I'll probably keep like 99-cent channel memberships you know, if you just want to support and you want to use emoji, I'll keep adding emojis for fun and live chats and stuff. But I'm going to get rid of the channel memberships, the 10% off. The 10% off pack breaks is going to move over there. And so really, if you ever show up to pack breaks and open like a good amount of packs, it's basically going to pay for the Patreon anyway. There'll be other benefits too. Like I might even do giveaways. Like I'm going to try to make it to where you're always going to, you know, you're going to feel like you're getting your value back. If you do want to join and support me. And at the end of the day, it's supporting me, right? If anyone who's bought a channel membership, right, you've literally got nothing. You got an emoji and then maybe you got some money off a pack. So you're already doing it. It's just on a different platform. And anyone who didn't support me already, you're probably still not going to. And that's fine too. Like the videos are free. This is not, nothing I do is in lieu of content. It's also an addition to content. So none of the YouTube stuff's changing. It's all free, always will be, blah, blah, blah. It's just for people who want more serious, personalized stuff, who are more serious about investing, you know, the business side of the hobby, you know, collecting, understanding things deeper, and less of like the surface level stuff. Nope, I didn't ban anyone. Godly Shad, he left on his own. He can come back whenever he wants. I didn't ban or time anyone out. He just gave up. It's free speech, brother. I didn't ban him. No one is banned from my YouTube channel. Oh wait, I think someone is. There was someone spamming very vulgar things one time in the chat, and even YouTube wasn't picking it all up because it was coming through. I do think I have someone banned. I will say that. I just don't ban for disagreements, right? I don't ban for anyone's own opinion, but if you're going to come in and say like vulgar things or racist things or like obviously things that like are not okay in everyday society, I'm not going to submit my chat to that because especially in my pack breaks, people have told me their kids watch my pack breaks with them, right? I'm not having that stuff go on in my chat when their kids are watching. So if you want to come and have legitimate arguments like Godly Shad always does with me, and just legitimate back and forth, and we have real disagreements, that's fine. But don't take it to that next level like it's, you know, a rated X R movie, right? We're not doing that here. It needs to work for everyone, not the few. Appreciate that, brother. You don't have to join. Here's the thing. Do every one of you buy from Low Poppin'? Do every one of you use Arizona TCG? Does everyone? It's like you already don't do like the stuff you think if I have a Patreon, does everyone buy my merch? Like, do you think if I have a Patreon, everyone has to do it? Like, you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to be here and watch this video. You don't have to be here. Oh, I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Thank you. Self-employed life's good, man. You know, just chugging along, trying to get back to that work-life balance I hear about. Definitely hasn't been to a balance in the last couple months, but it's nice. I'm gonna try and get back to it here recently. It's wanting to do it. Be ready to sacrifice your time. That's all I'll say. Is you can be successful in this hobby. As long as you're going to put in the time, the effort, take some risks. Don't take crazy risks, but yeah, you can do it. I mean, I wish this was the truth, but man, I've got some hate from above. I've got some hate from some big time tubers, right? I mean, the Cool Trainer Ryans and the Opossum Buds and the. I mean, I've had some hate from above for sure, and that's fine. Astral Radiance, if it did, it was very small, like a restock, like of product they had sitting around. I don't think Astral got a legitimate reprint though. That's why I like it, as well as the Starmie V Misty card, right? Yeah, people have definitely got heated. Here's the thing, guys. I'll address that too. This is like, people see this as like a cop out, like, oh, sure, you're happy. I actually am happy to kind of thin the herd before we move forward and continue to build. I don't want negative people in this community, right? Like, I don't need my channel. And again, like, people think it's a cop out. Like, oh yeah, Alex, sure, you want to be a gigantic YouTuber and have views. Of course I do. Of course, it's everyone's dream, right? But I don't want to have grow just having a bunch of haters like here and a bunch of like negative people for the community just to have like views and subscribers, right? I don't want that. So I'd rather go backwards a little bit before I go forwards and kind of thin out a lot of the real negative, vulgar, hateful people that just hate on everything and anything, and then kind of build back better type thing. And so yeah, there's definitely people that have left the Discord for multiple reasons, and that's fine. And I've had to ban some people because they couldn't stop trolling, couldn't stop, being personally attacking people. It had nothing to do with Pokemon discussions or disagreements. It was literally just personal attacks of things you wouldn't want to say in front of your wife or mom, And so no place for that, right? So we can get rid of those people. And here's the funny part. When I did that, when I banned my first couple people, I got hate for it. And some people left because of it, because, oh, it's not free speech. Guys, it's my fault. I'm taking 100% responsibility. The free speech thing meant you can have any opinion you want on investing and Pokemon and the market and anything that has to do with the topics at hand. Free speech did not mean you can walk in a building and yell bomb, right? You can't just come in the Discord and start going off on people and, calling them names and attacking them and their families and their looks and their, you can't do that, right? That's not what I was talking about. It's my fault for not saying that, but no, the free speech means you can have any opinions you want and you're not going to get banned for them. But yeah, a lot of people didn't like that because they want 100% free speech. And some people left with the people that I banned. But guess what? The Discord is now larger than ever. We've had an influx of new members continue to come in. Every time I've went backwards on this channel because of whatever reason, we've always come back stronger. And so, hey, if you're jumping ship now, you were never really on board to begin with. That's how I feel about it. And so if you want to jump ship, here's your lifeboat. Go ahead. I'll have to watch from the beginning. Sounds like I missed a lot. It was a pretty good first 40 minutes, Jess. Before I got into questions around the 40-minute-ish mark. But yeah, it's definitely worth a listen. Appreciate it. Alex, also been watching alpha investments on Pokemon Sealed and buying more sealed boxes. I've been dealing with haters so many times, but I know I'll be the one laughing in the future. Hey, Gajeel. Haters are always going to be there, man. It's the part of life. Alex, are you going to do a monthly Zoom call or something for Patreon members? I think this is something that would provide value. Oh, should I leak it all right now, guys? I don't want to leak it all right now. I'm going to make an announcement coming up. But yes, there's going to be two. I have a pretty cool idea that, I don't think has been done. I think it'll be really helpful for people, even experienced people who have been in. It's a way to get other outside opinions from other successful and experienced people, and even other just different eyes. And I have really cool ideas for it. And like I said, yeah, there will be 2 monthly videos. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what they're going to be on, but there'll be 2 monthly videos. You'll get 10% off all the box breaks. There will be a secondary Discord, or just some different channels. I haven't decided how I'm going to structure everything yet, because I don't know if I want to get rid of the Discord I've built and make those people, I haven't got through all the details yet, but yeah, I have some good plans for it. It's going to be very reasonable. It's going to provide a good value. And for anyone that doesn't want to do it, I will not be selling it. I will not, this won't be like a promoted video. I won't be like making videos all the time saying, hey, join my Patreon. Hey, we got this, and this. It'll be there. I might mention it from time to time. It'll be there if you want to have value. If not, not pushing it. But, I will be mentioning it to people that, reach out. Because, guys, here's what you don't understand. I'm trying to be as honest as possible. I get these emails, right, where they're like a book, and these people have just tons of questions. And, you know, even when I answered them, they'll say thank you and come back with all these more questions. And I don't have the time. I don't have the manpower to deal with that every single day. Like I want to help everyone. I'm just at a point now where I can't. So I have to have some sort of, thing where it's like, if you need all that additional support, there's got to be something, something of value for me and something to stop everyone, from reaching out with those kind of books and taking hours out of my day to respond. Now, look, if everyone wants to join the Patreon and I have to spend hours a day responding to every single email because there is guaranteed email and DM access, then hey, so be it, right? That's what it's for. But yeah, man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. If I didn't believe in it or I didn't think it was gonna add value to people, I wouldn't do it. So my thoughts are more the ancillary items, like, the collection boxes, tins, mini tins, all the, 3-pack blisters, sleeve blisters, or sleeve packs, whatever. V boxes, ETBs. You can do good on all of them, right? ETBs are a little out of focus now. Like they're not sought after. They're too overprinted. I don't like ETBs as much as I do like a PC ETB, which is a more limited supply and has that stamp promo, or like a collection box or tin that have sought after packs in them, or that have promos that could take off in the future because they're popular Pokemon or cool arts, or that tin or that box is lower printed, so that promo might be worth money, or that promo is hard to grade. So it's really based on the packs and the promos in those other items. They don't really have as much of that sealed value like a booster box does, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can do well on them, Gajil. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Marco's right, though. Like, that's why I've moved away from them, is they take up a lot of space for not a lot of money. So it's like, a case of 6 collection boxes is only going to be worth like $100 and something, right? But it takes up the amount of space that like almost a booster box case worth $600 is going to take up. And so it's like, if a space becomes an issue, that's when you probably want to start stopping with those. And they are harder to move. They're bulkier to ship. If a lot of times when you sell them in the future, people end up breaking them down and just selling off the packs individually and the promos individually, right? They'll like have 10 boxes or 30 boxes. They'll break them all down and sell each pack by the 30 lot and, sell the promos or grade the promos, whatever it may be. It's a little more work, but yeah, you can do well with them. Do I know the reason WotC introduced first edition cards? No, why? Are you asking me, or is this like a rhetorical question? I don't know the reason. Hey, no big deal, Alex. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for stopping by. Brian, what is up, my man? All people need to do is follow you, and they'll do great long-term for Pokemon investing. It's all it takes. Don't gotta do anything more. Appreciate it, man. Your old Discord was crazy. Yeah, I've cleaned it up a bit since then. I've really started to crack down on it. I want it to work for everyone. So anyone who was in the Discord that left because of any of those things, I would say come back. I would say give it another try. I don't let the same stuff that went on before go on. There's free speech up to a point where you're attacking anyone or being vulgar or just saying things that are not, okay in normal everyday conversation. You are allowed to have any take you want when it comes to investing. Pokemon and Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! One Piece, the stock market, crypto. You can have disagreements. You can go back and forth, be at each other's throats. Just don't attack each other personally and don't get crazy with the name calling and vulgar words and all that. As long as you do that, it's still open season. But yeah, it's a lot better than it was. I finally took some action. That's awesome, man. I'm excited for you. It's always exciting starting a business. Is this the end of an era? Nope. It is the building of the era. Alex is the man. Best Pokemon content on YouTube. Ryan, what is up? Dude takes risks, speaks from the heart, wants the best for everyone. You don't have to take any of his advice. Keep putting the work. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Guys, you don't have to take any of my advice. He's right. Like, you know, mostly what I'm trying to do is get people to think outside the normal boxes and the normal like thoughts that a lot of people in the community have. And that way it just broadens your horizons, broadens your perspective, and hopefully makes you make better decisions in the future. That's all I do. That's it. Fat Belly's in the house. What's up, man? Been growing out the hair out? Absolutely, dude. I just haven't got it cut in forever. Like, you know what it was, man? When I was in my sales job, I, you know, always had to be fresh, you know? So for years, you know, just like had to be fresh, clean shaved every day, got the hair up, you know, looking sharp, you know? And man, just when the day I quit, I haven't got my hair cut since I quit. It's just been nice not to worry about dressing up and looking sharp and all that every single day. I'll get it cut eventually, but it's just, you know, having some fun, man. If you guys don't know, I did a live stream on Fat Belly Collect's channel. If you want to go check it out, we had a good time talking for a while. I've invested a ton of money in coaches and mentors, getting around the people who can level me up. The greatest investment you can ever make is yourself. I appreciate it, Brian. Absolutely. That's so true, though. So true. I saw Opossum talk about you in a recent video saying it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I thought, what the F does that mean? Because you don't say anything in an asshole way. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't see the video. I don't know when that... Guys, I'm not subscribed to Opossum. I'm not subscribed to 99% of creators anymore in this community. And it's just because, you know, I don't know if it might not be this way anymore. But it got so negative, you know, everyone picking on everyone for any reason. Everyone's so negative on the market and negative on investors and, you know, just negative, saying everything's going to crash. The market's going to crash. World War III, Pokemon's next. And, you know, even when things go up, people would have a reason why they're not going to stay up. And, you know, everyone mad at everyone for how they're making money. People trying to call everyone out on every single thing they do. Everyone mad at everyone for using whatnot for some reason. And I'm just so sick of it, man. I don't want to fill my head with trash. I'd rather fill my head with, you know, positivity, with more, you know, business, entrepreneurial minded stuff. I watch a lot of those kind of channels, you know, now, like podcast things that are going to better myself. Guys, it's just trash. Like, I get if you just need some entertainment, you know, you just want to kind of turn on some reality TV, some trash content here and there. But man, if you fill your heads with a lot of that stuff day in and day out, it's going to be a net negative for you, you know, in the future. So I would tell you guys to do the same if that's what it's still like. If it's not, hey, congrats on them for changing. Maybe I'll come back one day and watch some of people's content again. But yeah, I would expect Opossum to like you. Yeah, I think it's probably the investing thing, and also that I'm not exactly fond of or friends with people that he is, and this hobby is very cliquey. And, you know, it's kind of where the Cabal thing came from. You know, guys, you know the Cabal thing's for fun, right? It's a joke, you know. Buy the merch, have fun with it. Let's word around Collecticon, piss everyone off, you know how it goes. But it's kind of where the Cabal thing came from. It's like there's groups in this hobby that they all stick together. They will never say a bad thing about each other or be critical of what each other do. But then anyone outside of the group, they're very critical of anything they do. Like, oh, you use whatnot, or oh, you make money this way or that way. But it's like any way they make money is okay, or any content they make, or it's very strange. Like, and you can see it happen. And I think that's another reason is because I'm not kind of in the clique, right? I've made enemies of people in the clique, and so I'm kind of ousted. And that's fine. There's nothing there. There's nothing to it, you know. I wish everybody the best. Exactly. Nothing of value was lost on Discord. In fact, you know, when I banned the few people that were problems, I mean, people were coming out of the woodwork that I haven't seen talk on there in ages and having good conversations again. And it's like, that's what it's about, right? And it's not like an echo chamber by any means. I mean, Godly Shaq can tell you that. I mean, there's times where there's like 3-4 people that are, you know, all saying the opposite thing of what I'm thinking, right? And it's like, that's what it's meant for. It's meant for honest back and forth of like-minded people on how we see the market, and it helps people out, right? And it's not about like trolling and posting emojis and photos and video and like gifs and just trolling people and attacking people. It's not about that. Like, if you want that, there's plenty of discords, I'm sure, out there that you can do that. Go to some political discords and you guys can all beat each other's throats. Like, that's not what this is for. So yeah, I agree that the value is returning to it. Thomas is banned. Oh, that's funny. Love the Discord now. Awesome. I'm happy to hear it. Happy to hear it. Hit the like button, you caballers. I appreciate it, Fat Belly. Thanks, man. I own them. I like them. I like the promos. I know they're over, they're everywhere right now, but I still like them long term, especially, still sealed in the UPCs. I like the fact there's 16 packs in them. Yeah, here, if you want to know, I hold 6 cases. I have 6 cases of 151 UPCs right now that I am holding. That's on top. That's in excess to my regular inventory, right? Like, I have inventory up here that I use for pack breaks and things. So that's not including like the inventory that I keep for pack breaks. No problem, man. See you Thursday. Wait, I gotta go Thursday for the Pokemon break. Absolutely, man. See you Thursday. Always Thursday nights here on the channel. Yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap it up soon. Go watch some TV with my wife before we go to bed. Next surge. I mean, we're going through a surge right now, kind of. I mean, a lot of the Sword and Shield boxes are all up 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30% right now. I mean, a lot of the alt arts are recovering. A lot of Sun and Moon, XY is still moving up, 20, 30%. We're seeing a bit of a surge now. Like, if you're talking about like the boom, like 10x type stuff, you're probably looking in the wrong spot, man. Like, crypto might be your best bet for that. Man, we were having a huge discussion about this in Discord, and there's people in there that don't double box, and they don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm with you. I made a short calling out another PokeTuber back in the day when I bought from him that he didn't double box it. And I opened the case up, and the booster boxes on the ends, they were bented on the corners. Guys, if you are selling a booster box case or an ETB case, right? You're selling a multiple $100, if not over $1,000 transaction, right? And you're going to cheap out by not even finding a used box around the house you can wrap around the case, or not buying like $1 box from the store and wrapping the cardboard around the case. Like, you're going to let a multi-hundred, if not thousand or multi-thousand transaction go down and not spend the extra time and $1 or $2 to wrap it in another piece of cardboard so it doesn't get damaged. Come on. Like, protect your stuff. Be a good seller. Be good for the community. You are heard, class at. You are heard. I got gifted 6 Fusion Strike ETVs. Do you suggest hold or flip? And you know what? Well, here's the thing. Like I talked about, unless you're going to flip it locally or somewhere with no fees and no shipping, you're not going to be investing all of that into the boxes. You're going to be investing what's left over after shipping and fees, which is a smaller number. So just make sure that you have a better outlook for that smaller amount of number than you do for the whole amount in the ETBs in the near future, wherever you're looking at. But I can't answer that for you. I like booster boxes more, but if you already have the ETBs, it's a harder discussion right now. A seller's market, I would say when the sealed and the singles are both on the uptick and are selling more than are being listed each day. I think a lot of the singles are still stagnant. Some are moving down, and it's a lot of the Sword and Shield sealed. I would say when they're both moving up and you're seeing more sales than new sellers each day, right? So it's like if you look at the total amount of sellers or items on the market and it's like 100, and you know, you look at the sales, and the next day you see the total amount of inventory is only 90, and there's a lot more sales. Like, that's how you can start, and that's across multiple different items, cards, sealed, everything. That's how you can tell it's a seller's market. Right now, it's mixed. It's very mixed. All right, guys. If I didn't get to your question, I apologize. I appreciate every one of you being here with me tonight. Going for over 2 hours, which is crazy. I hope you guys got something. Pokey, I did see this. Pokey Beard is a great investment channel of his content. Yeah, he reached out to me. He was asking me some questions. It was cool talking with him. You know, I mean, you know, talking with a 100K YouTuber, it's pretty cool. You know, more power to him for getting there. You know, but yeah, I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but that's cool that you've got getting help from him too. I haven't heard anything bad about him. But yeah, guys, I appreciate. Hope everything was talked about tonight helped you. I hope I was able to answer your questions, give you clarity on that. As always, if you're not in the market or don't want a product or a service, you are never obligated to buy that product or service. The channel and the content here will always be free. If you want to support me with other things I have, feel free to. I appreciate it as always. But don't feel like, you know, you're pressured, or I'm not selling anything to you. So I just want to make that very clear. Other than that, guys, keep enjoying the hobby. Hope everyone continues to do well if they're investing, collecting, selling, businesses, whatever it may be. Have a good rest of your Sunday night, and I'll be back here with some new videos next week. We are out.